Welcome to another episode of The Checkpoint. This is the show between the show. And what's the show? Video Game Book Club, where we talk about a game every single month and we play it to completion. I'm your host, Juan Pablo JP Gomez. And this is your co-host, Benjamin Tizzle Toops. And Ben, I have a really important question for you.
Hit me.
What do you think is the worst gamer injury?
Gamer injury?
Yeah, if you're a gamer and you get hurt, what's the worst injury?
I think it would be something to do with like your mouse wrist. If you follow esports at all, occasionally there will be people on like esports rosters that have to take hiatuses because they injure their wrist from overuse. So if you're a gamer, I would say it's a wrist injury.
Listen, I am not an e-sport, athlete, so, it's not the risk for me, but I was cooking a paella and it was really good. And I cut my thumb, my right thumb.
Ooh.
And I usually play on controller. And so last night I was playing on my Steam Deck and that thing is heavy and I'm holding it. And every time I was pressing a button with my thumb, it was hurting so much. And I was like, I hate this. This is the worst, So I think thumb cuts are the worst injury, Benny. But
fair.
Yeah. How are you doing, my man?
I'm good. I'm thumb injury less, so
good.
I'm all good. But yeah, pretty good. It's very. The weather where I'm at has turned very like gray and rainy for the foreseeable future. So I'm indoors. I'm sipping on some apple cider. I'm cozied up, actually not really playing some video games, but we'll talk about that. But yeah, I'm good.
The game of the month this month is Hades 2, chosen by the very own Mr. Bad Benny right now. And this is probably like a record in Video Game Book Club history, but both Benjamin and I have completed Hades 2 basically in the first 10 days of the month. So for the last week or so, we've been kind of done with the Video Game Book Club of the month, which is kind of insane, honestly, because I'm always, if you know me, I'm always finishing those games on the 30th of the month.
Yes, 100%. Yeah. I mean, so we started playing this one early. Number one, I think we were both excited to play it. Yeah. And number two, when you look at the time to beat, time to complete the game online, it's really high. It's 60 hours or something like that to get the full 100% story. So I think we were both a little nervous about that. And I can only speak for myself. I was really grinding it. I was playing a lot, at night and during the day and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know. We're here. We're done. I mean, we say done, right? And here's where we kind of check in on our progress, but we say done, but there's a levels of done with this game, right? You can win a run once, you can kill Kronos once and be like, I beat it, I'm done. I feel like that's probably not a lot of people. Or you can get through the full story, which is where I'm at. I got through the full, story of the game. And that's pretty much what I'm calling done. Or you can do like the 100% epilogue completion, all secrets, max relationships, all that kind of crazy stuff, and get the super secret ending, which I feel like I'm maybe not up for, but it sounds like you are. So how's that going for you?
It's going great. I don't know if I am anymore. I don't know if I am. I'm saying it here in the pod just because, and I'm sure we'll talk about it more when we actually dive into Hades 2 as a whole in the Video Game Book Club episode at the end of the month. But listen, when the game came out, I was just a little kid on Christmas morning. I was just so excited. And I remember I was coming back from a trip. I got home at September 25th or 26th at midnight. And the game had just released 1 or 2 days ago. And I downloaded it that night and I played for an hour. Even though I had to go to work the next day, I was like, I don't care. I need to play this, at least one run, And
That's awesome.
I basically, I played, like you said, I played about 50 hours of the game-ish. And I finished the true ending. When I finished it, I just felt so good. And then the next few days, I played a little more. But I don't know. I just kind of, I don't know. I don't have any like motivation to keep going, unlike the first game. Whereas the first game, I finished the, let's call it the true ending also, like when you beat the first 10 runs, and then, you get like the story or whatever with Zagreus and his mom. I wanted to do everything. I wanted to do all the challenges. I wanted to do, the Book of the Fates. I wanted to max all the relationships, and I did. And then I got 100% completion on Hades 1. I think there's not, again, we'll don't crucify me yet, but there's not enough differences in Hades 2 to want me to do that again. It's just a lot of time commitment, a lot of, doing the same runs over and over and over again, which is, obviously the nature of a roguelike, but like that doesn't feel too different for me at this moment. That, the magic was great and it peaked, but it just kind of, it's over now. The magic is dying. So I don't know. I also think that like, man, like it seems like for me to reach the epilogue, I need to put in another 30 hours. And that just didn't really, feel good. I'm like, okay, I thought maybe like there was this like step-by-step, maybe the next 10 runs and like I'll be able to get there, but it doesn't seem like it'll be like that at all. And there's a little bit of, randomization here and there, obviously like getting like relationships to like, different levels and stuff. And it's just like, oh, okay, that's a lot of work.
Yeah. Yeah. It's some of the progression is locked behind those relationships, like you said. And for those, there is, there's an element of randomization to get them all to 100%. So yeah, I mean, I finished the, true ending, like you said. I feel like I've been so confused in all of our discussions because I don't know what people are referring to as the true ending. Like, is it,
sure.
The ending after, you finish all of the runs of the story, like you said, or is it like the epilogue? Is that what people are referring to as the true ending? So whenever people are talking about the true ending in Discord, in the Video Game Book Club Discord, I'm always so confused. But I got the true ending, I guess, where you complete, like 8 bottom side runs and 5 top side or whatever the number is.
Yeah.
And yeah, I finished that, and I think, like you said, I was at like a little over 30 hours of gameplay, and I like asked some people in the Discord did go for the epilogue, and they finished it. And I asked them like what their final playtime was, and they were like, "Oh, I think it's about 60." And I was like, "I do not have 30 hours of this game in me. I really just don't." Because I'm not like, I feel like to do that, I feel like you have to have a really strong motivating force to do it.
Yeah.
And I think for some people, that's maybe like the difficulty progression with the fear system. And for other people, maybe it's like chasing the relationships and the stories. And neither of those were super motivating to me. So when I got to that point, I was just like, nah, no.
I feel the same way, especially with the fear system. Like I thought heat worked. I don't know. Like I feel like you could almost combine the fear system and the heat system and make like a better system that is better for both sides, But like in the heat system, you needed to complete each challenge for the weapon to increase the aspect of those weapons, right? So you get those blood vials or whatever they were called. I can't remember anymore. And then you would be able to increase the levels. Obviously, in the same way with the fear, you get those skulls and you can increase the aspects of your weapons with the skulls. But I don't know, like you would get ambrosia in the heat system, but you don't really get that in the fear system. Like I don't know what my motivation is to actually complete the run, other than like I want to complete the runs, Whereas like in Hades 1, I felt like the heat system, made me want to finish all of these and like actually complete it. It would almost taunt you too. Like if you were trying to go for a higher heat than you had completed for a specific weapon, it would be like, what are you doing, bro? Like you're not even that good, Whereas this one, it doesn't really taunt you like that. Like I don't know. It's like where's that challenge, But anyways, I feel like we're diving, really hard into Hades. I think both of us have a really, really good opinions on the game. I think we're gonna have a really, really good discussion on this game in a couple weeks time. So, you know, if you're listening to this and you don't know us from Video Game Book Club, check us out in a couple weeks, because that will be a pretty good one. Maybe we'll try to keep it under 2 hours. You know, we'll see.
Oh God, I know. We'll see.
So Ben, you're saying that you've been taking a break. So, you know, it's rainy over there, you said. You're keeping cozy, but you're taking a little break from video games. Do you have a little bit of burnout, you think?
I don't know if I'd call it burnout. Like, I think it pretty much is burnout, but I mean, I feel like there were just so many games back to back in the past couple months between.
There have been.
You know, obviously there's the games we played for the book club, like Cassette Beasts and Lorelei and the Laser Eyes, which we had, you know, varying experiences with, some better than others. But then on top of those, like, there were other games releasing, like Hollow Knight Silksong and Hades 2. Yeah. And I wanted to play those as well. So I would be like playing book club game and then put that down for a little bit and play a bunch of Silksong, or, you know, finish Lorelei and the Laser Eyes and immediately start playing Hades 2. So I feel like there was just so many good games that I wanted to play back to back. And I'm not even done Silksong. Like, I'm, you know, for my purposes, I'm done Hades, but I'm not even close to done Silksong.
Yeah.
I'm only like 15 hours in, which I think in the scope of the game is maybe like a third. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I don't know. I finished Hades and I feel like I was really grinding Hades. Like, I was playing it a lot. So I finished it and I was just like, I kind of want to just take a little break. I just don't have that motivation to play Silksong right now. Because when I put it down, I like finished a big boss fight. Like, I got past a really big checkpoint in the game. I finished like the first act, you can say. And so that was like, you know, a pretty definitive point. And I'm just like, I don't know. Like, I want to play more and I'm going to play more, but I'm just taking a moment to catch my breath.
That's good. I feel like that's something that maybe isn't talked about enough in the video game world, where like, okay, let's say on any other form of entertainment, like maybe like film watching or book reading, you know, you don't constantly need to be reading a book and min-maxing, you know, your Goodreads and your Letterboxd websites and softwares, you know, like your account. You're like, oh, I read 55 books, you know, in the year, or oh, I watched 200 movies this year or something. It's the same thing with video games. I feel like you think you have to do that, but you really don't. Like, you never tell a book reader, oh, I'm taking a break from, you know, reading because I was just like, you know, focusing too much on that and like I need to just kind of relax in a different way.
Right.
And you're not like, oh, you're like a little baby who doesn't read anymore, you know? But I feel like in video games, it's the same thing. You're putting your mental energy into something that sometimes isn't really giving you that comfort or the relaxation that you need. Like, some games are really intense and, you know, sometimes you can't really relax and play something. You need to like be focused and locked in, especially with games that are difficult, or especially in games that you want to challenge yourself in. It's just like, okay, this is mentally taxing too, you know, and sometimes you need that break. And I think it's important to have those conversations, because unfortunately we get stuck in this loop of really, really good video games coming out. And, you know, your Instagram or your social media or Reddit or Steam just tossing all of these new games at your face constantly, day in and day out. And you get your newsletters and you get emails about, hey, this game just came out. And like you were saying, you know, September, there were so many bangers that came out in September. And it's just, you know, again, it's just the advertising on these video games is like a lot. And I think, you know, hopefully you guys know that taking a break is healthy. And just don't feel pressured, you know, just don't feel pressured.
100%. Yeah, 100%. But enough about me and my malaise. What have you been playing, JP?
So I just finished Hades like 3 or 4 days ago. So it hasn't been that long for me. I feel like comfort games for me are like turn-based RPGs. Are like the things that I like the most. And I was trying to figure out like what game I wanted to play. I played Metaphor Refantasio in December, God, I love that game. I had like 2 weeks off of work, and instead of playing Dredge, even though like I love Dredge, and Dredge was short, so I just like kind of like ran through Dredge. I played like 55 hours of Metaphor in like 2 weeks, and then I put it down. It was like my full-time job in Christmas. My wife was sick too, so she was just like laying on the couch the whole time, and I was playing Metaphor. So I kind of wanted to come back to that. I wanted a little bit of hey, let me play like a JRPG that is like kind of casual and feels good and easy to pick up and put down on the Steam Deck and stuff. And I was looking through my library, and we all fall into the trap of buying games on sale. And so it is really healthy to go back every few months and check out what you've bought and maybe play one of those games. All right, guys, this is a PSA. Play some of your backlog, okay?
Play your games.
Play your games, guys. And I had bought Dragon Quest XI, the definitive Dragon Quest XI S Definitive Edition. I think that's the full name. And I bought that probably a long time ago, and I never played it. And I know that a lot of people regard it as one of the best JRPGs that have come out in like, let's call it quote unquote modern times, modern gaming, the last 10 years or so. And I don't know. I really wanted to play it. I've always been a fan of like that art style, of course. I'm a big Dragon Ball Z fan since I was a child, and it's Akira Toriyama who like designed all of those games in the Dragon Quest world. I'm a big Final Fantasy fan. So that's like the Squaresoft side of it, but then I've never played like the Enix soft side of it, like Dragon Quest is. And I've always wanted to. So I just started it like 2 days ago. I mean, I haven't played more than like 2 hours of it, but it's like cute. It's great. It feels good. Plays amazing on the Steam Deck, and it gives me that turn-based strategy, like super chill, kind of combat that I want. So I'm gonna have a good time with it. I'm about to go on a work trip this week, and I'm bringing my Steam Deck, and I'm just gonna relax after work every day and play some Dragon Quest XI. So I'm pretty excited about that.
I love that. Love that.
Benny, I have something else to talk about, though.
Oh, do you?
I do. I always have something to talk about, but right now I have something really important. Yeah. And
that is true. You do.
My November. I do. Listen, I love talking to you is the thing. So it is my November 2025 short story. That's right.
Ooh.
I have a mini video game book club to talk about today.
Love it.
And it is actually one of the miniest video game book club games I've ever played. And the name of this game is The Dark Queen of Mortholme. I think that's how you say it. I am glad that you haven't, because it's a really interesting game, and I really want to tell you about it. So, and it's so weird. Like, I have so many thoughts about this game, but let's just picture this game. Picture a Souls game. Okay. Picture a Souls game. It's pixelated, pixel art Souls game, and you are not the hero of the game.
Ooh.
You are one of the final bosses of the Souls game.
Wow. I like that.
So instead of you playing the hero, the hollowed one, you're not that. You are one of the final bosses. And who comes in to your throne room every couple minutes but a hero who you keep killing and killing and killing over and over and over again. And he's just super persistent, and all they want to do is slay you.
That's a really cool concept.
It's a really, really cool concept. The whole game, of course, because you're a boss of a game, it's so meta, Ben. You are stuck in your throne room. That's all you do. You're the Dark Queen. You're everlasting. You're ever powerful, and that's what you keep telling this pesky little hero. And he comes in, and you absolutely kill him in one shot. And then he comes back, and they have this super witty and fun dialogue back and forth. And he's like, "Whew, you really got me there, but I know how to dodge that attack this time." And then at the beginning, the Dark Queen has like the same quips that you say like over and over again, like you can't even scratch me, and I'm the everlasting Dark Queen of the realm. Like you can't get me or whatever. But then after a few times that you kill the hero, she's like, all right, are you like, you keep coming back, like, can you stop, like, what are you doing, you know? And then, you know, of course the dialogue of the hero is always like, hey, I'm getting better, I'm like doing this, and you know, you're actually teaching me how to be stronger in this game and teaching me how to be a better hero. Then you kill him a couple of times, and then he doesn't come back for a while, and then he's like, listen, honestly, I figured out that I needed to get better items to kill you because you're really strong, so I went to get this shield and this sword, and I think I can get you now. And eventually, you know, you keep having this back and forth, and they kind of develop this friendship where at the beginning you would destroy him in like a move. I swear, like you just attack him once and he's dead. And she would like snap her finger, and then his body, the body of the hero, would like incinerate. Mm-hmm. Whereas later, the hero is kind of teaching you that there's more to life than just being a big boss fight in a throne room, you know?
Wow.
And the Dark Queen starts like putting her palm on his body before incinerating. And it goes so far as to one of the last times that you kill him, because, you know, he's getting stronger and stronger every time. She hugs him. She hugs the hero.
Wow.
To kind of like, you know, this growth that you have as the Dark Queen of Mortholme.
How nice is that?
Of course, eventually you have a phase 2 of the boss fight, which is hilarious, that, you know, the hero gets you to like a quarter health, and then you get really mad, and then you like levitate and become this huge monster, and then your moves are super powerful again. And then you kill him, and he's like, holy shit, like, you had a phase 2, what are you talking about, you know?
Just wait for phase 3, buddy.
Wait for phase 3, exactly. So eventually he slays her, and then the game ends, and it lasts 30 minutes. The combat of the game, it's a little annoying because the hero, he's getting stronger and stronger, and knows, like, just like you would be in a Souls game, you know how to predict the moves of the boss. Yeah. So, you know, the couple moves that worked really well against the hero don't work anymore. And every time you do like your dash attack, he jumps over it like easily. There's a little bit of a delay. I mean, it's all like choreographed and orchestrated by the developer. There's a little bit of a delay when you input the attack. And so that's like the game telling the little AI guy to jump, you know, because of doing that. Right, so you can't really like catch him off guard. So everything is super orchestrated. It lasts 30 minutes. And, you know, there's really funny moments where like he's getting super strong, right? And then, you know, maybe he gets it to half health, and then the AI tells it, okay, like don't dodge anymore, and then you kill him. Then he gets it to like the second phase, and he gets it to the second phase a couple times, but then the next fight he comes in and you absolutely demolish him, and he comes back and he's like, oh, my bad, honestly, I really wasn't paying attention right now.
Wasn't locked
like
in.
I was not locked in, but I promise
we've all been there.
Exactly. We've all been there. But I really encourage people to try it. It is about 30 minutes. I think by the end I was getting a little annoyed because it's just so frustrating that you're playing as the boss and not as the hero, because you're not getting any better at all. Your moves don't get stronger. You still have the delay every time you input your moves. You are meant to lose, and losing doesn't feel great. So the hero is absolutely destroying you, you know.
I was going to say it's a really cool concept for a game, but I feel like it only works as a really short game.
Oh,
like it would be really hard to build out a bigger game based around that concept.
It would be absolutely impossible. It's like a short film. Honestly, that's kind of how it felt. And most of like the enjoyment of it is the interaction between the Dark Queen and the hero. That is really funny. It was really well written, and it's really witty. And that was the best part. There are 3 endings to it. So, you know, you play the game, and then you lose eventually, and that's the first ending, just like playing the game normally. But I was thinking, like, what if I just don't do anything the whole time? Because you control her, right? And so from the first, I replayed the game, and I just stood there, and the guy hits you, and then eventually he's like, "Are you bugged? Like, what is going on?" You know? And then he leaves, and then he comes back later, and then he's like, do you really just want to die? Like, you know, you're not even attacking me. And then, you know, you say something back, and then he eventually slays you, and then you win the pacifist ending achievement. And then there's a third one that I didn't really figure it out. I had to look it up. And it's if you actually defeat him so many times that he gives up because the game is too hard, basically, or the fight is too hard. But I couldn't do it. It was so hard because he's so good. Like he, as you keep playing the game, he starts like memorizing your moves, and so it's really hard to hit him. So I had to look up a guide on how to cheese him. And there's a way to cheese the hero by spamming an attack at a very specific location, and then eventually he, dies so much, and he tells you, this game is such bullshit, basically. Like, you just keep cheesing him, and then eventually he tells you, like, okay, I'm going to try one more time because this game is bullshit, or, this fight is bullshit. This is way too hard. I'm going to try one more time, one more death. And if I can't get it, like, I'm quitting, basically. And then the queen replies, one more death. Let's do it. And then you kill him one more time if you can. And then he does. He never shows up again. And then the queen, stays there everlasting. So those are your three endings. And for an hour of entertainment for $5, I thought it was pretty solid. So I liked it a lot.
Yeah, that sounds really cool. Yeah, again, I mean, such a cool concept for a game, but it just like has to be a short game, like, because there's only so much you can do with that concept, But that sounds awesome as like a 30-minute experience. It sounds really cool.
It is. It's just that the inevitable defeat is just looming, and there's just so much you can take of that. Like it would be
right.
It would feel so. It's kind of like, what if you're a gym leader at in a Pokemon game? God, that must be so frustrating, to be that person. But yeah. It's kind of like what the concept of this was. But it was made by one person. So really, really, again, those types of games that are made by like a really small team that give you a very different perspective in video games in general are always such a treat to play.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that sounds awesome. I feel like we're at the part of the show where we talk about some gaming news, and the most prevalent piece of gaming news is that the Game Award nominations are dropping tonight. If you're listening to this on Monday, November 17th, they will be out tonight. We, of course, want to beat the Game Awards. We want to give our predictions for what the Game of the Year nominees will be. So, JP, what do you think the nominees for the Game of the Year will be?
Okay, I have my hot take is that there will be no Nintendo games. I know that they always put a Nintendo game. We were talking about it that in the Discord, that they're always going to throw them a bone. But I don't think DK Bonanza or Mario Kart World are cut in the same way that all the other games that came out this year are. I know people really love DK Bonanza, and maybe it's one of those things that, like, I haven't played it, so I'm not rating it right now, but I still don't rate it. So
I feel like people just really wanted it to be another Mario Odyssey. And I feel like it's probably just really hard to hit that mark.
I mean, the 3D Mario games are just so good, dude. They're so good that, I don't know. I don't know if DK gets there, but okay. My prediction is Expedition 33, of course. And I think that will win Game of the Year. Hades 2. Hades 2, I think it needs to be there. I mean, it got a 10 out of 10 in so many different gaming magazines and stuff. So I just think it needs to be there. Is it as groundbreaking as Hades? I don't think so. Just because,
Yeah. It's a reskin, basically.
It's a reskin, exactly. But I think it's going to be there. I think Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is going to be there. I think the kind of mass and the weight of that game and everything that it can do for the player has to be celebrated. So I think it will be there. Like, is it the best gaming experience in the whole world? I don't think so. But is it like, does it give the player agency to do literally whatever you want in such a massive scale? For sure. And I think will be celebrated. Then I think Hollow Knight Silksong will be there. I think that Silksong is a game that has been like highly anticipated by the whole world for 7 years or whatever it's been.
Pretty much.
I think it frustrated players in like the best way. They frustrated them because it's like hard, but that's kind of what the point of Hollow Knight and Silksong is. So I think for those who thought that it was gonna be like a really cute, just chill experience, go replay Hollow Knight because you don't remember.
It is way harder.
Then I have Death Stranding 2. Gotta give it that game. But so those are 5 and another 6. So I was really debating what the last one will be, but I think it will be instead of Blueprints. Oh man, I don't know, but maybe it is Blueprints. I don't know. I had Split Fiction. I have Split Fiction as my 6th game, just because they are just going to give that game that appeases to most of like a wide audience of gamers and non-gamers. But Ben and I have been playing Split Fiction on our Wednesday streams for Video Game Book Club, and I don't think it deserves to be top 6 games released this year.
It's so hard.
But so hard. I gave it to it.
I don't know. Yeah, I agree with you on pretty much all of them. I think my locks, my games that I think are going to be nominated no matter what, are Expedition 33, Silksong, Hades 2, and Death Stranding 2. I think those are locks. And I think there's another lock, and I think it is Split Fiction.
Oh, you think so?
if you watch the Game Awards, if you're familiar with the Game Awards, that game is Game Awards bait. If you watch movies, certain movies are like Oscar bait. Yeah, this is Game Awards bait. The developer of the game, they bring him up, they have him talk every single year. It's honestly, it's kind of the same with Death Stranding too, because they love Kojima on the Game Awards. But Split Fiction, they bring the dev up every year. He always talks. He always says something crazy that like gets a viral clip. They love the guy, and Split Fiction 2 had a huge reception. There's clips all over social media. Maybe just one clip, the clip of the cell phone part where you have to close all the ads and do the captions and stuff. Yeah. When the game released, I think I saw that clip a million times. But I mean, the game was everywhere. It's a quality game. Like it is a quality game regardless of how we enjoy playing it. But yeah, I think that game is basically the Game Awards bait. So I think it's pretty much a lock for nomination. And then, yeah, same as you. I think for the last one, it's between DK Bonanza and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. And I think they probably nominate DK just because it's more people are familiar with that title. I think, like you said, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is more of an achievement that should be nominated. But I'm predicting that it'll probably be DK just because name recognition, Nintendo, all that good stuff.
Do you think Blueprints and like Arc Raiders have any chance at all to be in there or no?
Arc Raiders, no. I mean, there's other categories, right? Like there's multiplayer game. I feel like Arc Raiders gets nominated there, and Blueprints, I think, probably gets nominated in the indie game category.
It has to, yeah, it has to.
But it's one of those things, and it's honestly kind of similar to like Hades 2 and Silksong. Getting the like true ultimate ending of Blueprints takes a while, and I don't know like how many people are sticking around for that. And Kingdom Come Deliverance too, that is a massive game. Yeah. Like I don't know how many people are sticking around for all that. So
that's true.
I think Blueprints 100% gets an indie game nomination, but not a Game of the Year nomination.
I feel like that's such an interesting thing that you're talking about though, because like for example, Persona 5 won Game of the Year, I think 5-6 years ago. I can't remember how long it's been, maybe 2018. And that game is like 115 hours long, but it's 115 hours long as the whole package. You know, it's not like you do any post game after that, or it's 80 hours and then there's 35 hours of post game. The game ends and it ends, whereas Kingdom Come Deliverance and like Blueprints, you can kind of finish the game ish, but then there's just so much content that you can like explore with, or like Hades is that way too. And I don't know if in the Game Awards they really just want to focus on like the actual like game and not like all the other extra post game stuff that you can do. And I really don't know how they award these Game of the Year stuff for these games, to be honest. I wish I could be like a fly on the wall when they talk about it, but
yeah, you always have to remember with these things that it's an industry award, right?
Yeah,
it's the industry coming together. So you always have to kind of couch it and think about it through that lens. But regardless, I'm really interested to see what the nominations are and obviously what the ultimate winner is. I think both of us probably hope it'll be Expedition 33.
I was going to ask you, and I agree.
Yeah, but speaking of that, I think we need to do not the Game Awards. I think we need to do the Buenale Game Awards, where instead of just, 2025 stuff, I think we need to have a yearly award show where maybe we just make it an episode of the Checkpoint in December or January. But I think we need to do our categories, our game of the year that we played in Video Game Book Club. And then we can do specific categories like, best character, best voice actor, best story, best all that. And then some goofy categories as well, maybe.
Most kissable character. That's Joe.
Yes.
Joe's special.
Joe will recommend that category 100%. But yeah, if you have, ideas for categories or nominations that you want to suggest, join the Discord, hit us in the Discord, let us know what categories we should include in the Buenale Game Awards.
It would be so funny. I cannot wait to play award show host with you,
Oh yeah.
It's just so funny too, because we're going to be part of the we not only are going to present these awards fictionally to these games, but also we're going to be voting. So it's like we have stake, we have neck in the game, also. Yeah. But please submit your categories. It's so much fun. Last year, what we did was just Ben and I just kind of ranked all the games that we played top to bottom to see what our favorites were. We're going to do that again, of course, and we're going to award our favorite game of the year for book club. But having so many different categories, like most kissable character, best music, or whatever, we can do mostly funny ones. Would be such a treat for not just us two, but I think for the whole community. So get in the Discord and definitely give us your recommendations.
Yes. Next piece of gaming news is the most Valve thing possible. If you are watching the news this week, you definitely saw that Valve dropped not one, not two, but 3 new pieces of hardware out of seemingly nowhere. There were kind of rumors that something was coming, but I think at this scale, people really didn't expect. So Valve stealth released basically a new VR headset and controllers, a mini PC, and a new Steam controller. So out of nowhere, they released all of these things. If another company were to do this, were to announce all of this hardware at once, I feel like I would be very hesitant.
Yeah.
But because it's Valve, I'm like, they're probably going to be incredible, right? I've already seen a few of the hands-on reviews of the new Steam machine, the new mini PC. And everyone says it's incredible. So yeah, I'm super looking forward to that. I don't know what I'll be buying of it. I don't think I'm in the market for VR right now.
No.
The controller I could maybe see.
Yep.
And the mini PC I also don't really see right now, just for me personally. But I don't know. What are your thoughts on all that?
I am, like you said, any other company would just completely miss with this, but yeah. I just feel like they're not going to miss. And I feel like, I remember when the Steam Deck was announced in 2021, and I was Q2 22 to buy mine. So I was one of the first 5,000 people to get a Steam Deck or something. And it's just, I remember at the time, I knew it was going to be, or I was hoping it was going to be the next best thing, and it was. And then, what wave of freaking handhelds that it started, then everyone and their mom started making PC handhelds, and they have helped revolutionize this industry. And it's made Valve try to be better too. They're like, okay, well, we started this, but now we got to stay on top. How do we stay on top? And I think that by doing this mini PC that is running SteamOS, and it will be your home console, but you can play all your PC games with it, I think that's going to be just such a big win for them. I think that's what I want. Yeah. I would love to have a mini PC in my living room.
Sure.
I don't know if I will be able, if I'm going to get one when it comes out, but eventually
we'll see how much it costs.
Let's see how much it costs, but I definitely want to get one because, okay, I don't know about you, but my family, all of my siblings play games, and a lot of them have kids. So I have a bunch of nieces and nephews. And what my family does a lot is that they have the Steam family plan. and they're all able to kind of like get together, enjoy the same library of games and have all the users available so that everyone can play a different game from the same library and stuff at the same time. And I just feel like with the mini PC, that just makes it just one step better. It just makes it one step better. Someone can play in the living room in the big screen, or of course you can make it your own personal emulator station for your living room, where you invite your friends over, and Mario Kart Double Dash is ready to go, Super Smash Melee is ready to go, allegedly, if you own those games, of course. And it's just to me, it's the perfect GameCube-esque piece of hardware, just because it looks like a GameCube, that you can put somewhere in your living room, and it'll always be there to give you like the maximum entertainment that you want. I think honestly, if this had come out, I don't know how it wouldn't have worked, but let's say it would have come out like 5 or 10 years ago. Every TV right now has, it's a smart TV, and you can just buy Roku or whatever, Amazon Fire Stick or whatever, put that on your TV, and you can get, or Apple TV or whatever you want, and you can have this like, TV streaming OS that works really well, seamless, and you can watch whatever you want. But so many people 10 years ago would like build a small PC and put it like behind their like, TV entertainment station or whatever, so that they could like access the internet and do whatever they want on the TV as a big screen. And I feel like if this had come out then, it would literally be in everyone's living room,
Well, that's such a good point, because Valve tried to do this before, like
with the Steam Link thing. Yeah.
No, well, with the Steam Link, yeah, but also, I mean, they made Steam machines before, like 10
machines,
years ago.
That's what it's called, yeah.
They came out with Steam machines that were basically Alienware mini PCs, and they were a total flop. They did not work at all. No. Like they were, I think, just performance thermals. Like they just, some people bought them. I'm sure some people had good experiences, but for the most part, they came out and they kind of just went away. Like they didn't really have staying power in the market. But I think the difference is that, like you said, when the Steam Link came out, the Steam Link was not just the Steam Link hardware. It was the Steam Link with SteamOS and with the massive investment that Valve made into Linux gaming. It was basically, I mean, the Steam Link basically represented the largest investment that any company has put into Linux gaming ever. Like the improvements to game optimization and the ability to run games that came as a result of the Steam Link really cannot be overstated. And I think that investment through the Steam Link has now put Valve in the situation where they can make a better mini Linux PC that's going to have much better performance, much better thermals, because hardware has gotten a lot better. And I mean, it's just like it's going to pay dividends for them. They're gonna carve out a chunk of that, not only console market, but of the kind of TV room entertainment system market as well. Like if I were in the market for something like that, I would definitely be considering it. It's a credit to Valve. It's a credit to them as a company. They tried to do this thing 10 years ago. It didn't really work. They went back to the drawing board. They made this huge time and energy investment in it as a platform. And now, I mean, I'm based on everything I'm seeing, like I'm sure it's going to be a success. So yeah, really, really cool to see.
Long live the GameCube, we'll see how it goes. I think I'm going to try to go in. I'm not a VR guy, so I'm not going to get the headset, but I wanted to talk about the controller for a second, because this is a super hot take, I think, because people, defend Valve to their grave, but I didn't like their first controller, their Steam controller. It was so bad, in my opinion. Like I didn't like it at all. I hated that the D-pad was a touch, like a touch D-pad. I don't even know how to describe it. It was just like a joypad or whatever, and the D-pad buttons, and it was just didn't really feel good at all. Now the new one, it basically looks like a Steam Deck that they just took the screen away and then they slapped the two ends of it together. That's literally what it looks like. And I love the Steam Deck, but I wouldn't say that the Steam ergonomics, the Steam Deck ergonomics and the controller of the Steam Deck are like better than a DualShock controller, you know? Like I think it works for the purpose of being a handheld, but I never thought, oh man, I really would like this to be my own controller. So I think the controller is going to be a miss. I think the VR headset is going to be whatever. I mean, VR isn't like, they're not expecting to make too much money from the VR headset, I'm sure.
Yeah, VR is it's the goose that everyone has been chasing for the past like 15 years. It feels like
it's not going to give you a golden egg, dude.
Companies will not stop trying to make VR, and we really haven't seen like a super successful implementation. Like there's been good platforms. Like I think some of the hardware put out, you know, Oculus and stuff like that has been good, but it's never taken any substantial market share. So yeah, I don't know.
I think it's going to be 2 misses and a win for them. 2 M's and a dub.
I think that's fair. In less successful gaming news, a company that has less goodwill built up than Valve, Call of Duty Black Ops 7 is having a absolutely disastrous launch. If you're anywhere on social media, you have definitely seen the clips of the COD campaign that just looks like the most ridiculous thing you've ever seen in your life, with giant soldiers and just crazy stuff. There's also reports and, you know, not just reports, proof of AI artwork being all over the game. You know, you think of COD, you think of like the multiplayer badges with your name and stuff. You can, you know, people always try to unlock all the crazy ones. And they're just AI Slop this year. Like they just are AI Slop. So people are really upset about that. I saw, you know, going back to Valve, I saw somebody post that they completed the entire COD campaign and then submitted a refund request on Steam and said like, this game is unadvertised AI Slop basically, and like it's really upsetting to me. And Valve granted the refund, so that's pretty hilarious.
That's really good.
common Valve W there. But yeah, just a weird release, and then coupling that with the GTA 6 release being delayed again amid some rumors of alleged union busting and very unhappy employees. I don't know. To me, it just feels like 2025 has been such a great year of gaming, but all of those wins have come from the people with goodwill in the industry, the small indie teams or the companies that consistently deliver for the fans. And all of the really big studios have really not found a lot of success this year in the titles that they kind of rely on. So I don't know. It's been kind of an interesting year for gaming in that regard.
It has been. Listen, dude, I didn't even know COD was coming out. You know, like just like, who cares? Who cares? But I knew, you know, Hades 2 was coming out. I knew Death Stranding was coming out. I knew Silksong. Well, not that I knew Silksong was coming out. No one knew Silksong was coming out. They just said, hey, it's coming out. And we were like, oh shit, let's go. But you know, it's those games that have the heart, you know, that you want, or it have a soul, that developers like really care about them, that's the ones that as a consumer, those are the ones you want to see, because you know that it's a game for us. It's a game for us to enjoy. You know, it's not a product to be sold year after year after year to, you know, meet the fucking budget and product and, you know, sales numbers and everything. It's actually something that people wanted and took care of creating. Yes. Dude, I'm not even surprised. It's honestly, it is really interesting though, the COD thing, because I know that the last 4-ish or maybe 3 COD games had actually pretty decent campaigns, and people were getting tired of like the multiplayer stuff because it doesn't really change, but you know, people still buy it, just kind of like they keep buying FIFA or EAFC now.
Right.
But people were pleasantly surprised that the campaigns were hitting, which is good. I mean, I think, you know, listen, not every person or developer that works on, or programmer that works on Call of Duty games are like evil, obviously. They're just people, and they have a job and they work on them. You know, they're good people that want to work on video games. But it is really upsetting when, you know, I'm sure somewhere along the hierarchy of the company, they said, hey, We don't need to hire all of these people. We don't need to actually put time and invest money in our developers. Let's just use AI to do X, Y, and Z. And that's just, it comes from the top. And I just want to say, I hope the fall of these big corporations happens sooner than later. I don't really care.
It's like when a game like Hollow Knight Silksong is announced and released out of nowhere, it's like the reaction from everyone is like, oh, that's going to be incredible. Like, I'm super excited for that. I know it's going to be great. And when you there's no concern in my mind. And then when you tell me Call of Duty BLOPS 7 just released and it's a total disaster, the campaign is ridiculous and it's filled with AI artwork, I'm like, yeah, that sounds about right. Like that's not that surprising to me. Whereas these other games that our studios were familiar with, our companies were familiar with, that we know put heart into their product. And again, if you're an Activision developer, I'm not saying you don't put heart into your product, because I'm sure you do. And it's just, it's your job, right? But there's a difference, right? There's a difference between a game like that and a game where you can feel, all of the love and all of the care poured into it. It's very apparent when you're playing and when you're seeing the final product. So,
it happens in our day-to-day lives too. Like going to a mom and pop shop, quote unquote, in like a small store in your local, in your city, feels a lot better than going to the big hardware stores, to get something that you feel taken care of, because you are face to face with the person that cares most about the company. Whenever you talk about Call of Duty Black Ops and they have all these like representatives talking about the game, you're not talking to the people who care most about their product. You're those people, like the Activision developers, like you're saying, you don't talk to them. They are, that's their job. They're at home. They aren't front facing the company. But the other developers, they are. And so you can have that personal connection with them, like your mom and pop shops, and feel that, man, they really care about this. I'm sure if it's going to sound silly, but if they, get rid of all of their HR or marketing directors and people and just like give me an interview with like, programming developer 1, that position in Activision, and I talk to them, I feel like I would feel more connected, to the game, which is, it's kind of silly to say, but yeah. And for GTA, I'm not even surprised, at either of the two news, that the it being delayed, and then of course the unhappy employees and union busting. Like, I'm not surprised about either of those things.
No, definitely not.
It's obviously like Ben and I, we want good rights for the employees, and we want them to be treated fairly and compensated fairly. And
controversial opinion.
Guys, lock me up right now. I want employees to be fairly compensated and happy. Lock me up.
Controversial opinion.
So honestly, whatever it takes for that game to come out, it doesn't matter for me, unless the employees are treated fairly. You know what I'm saying? Like if
totally.
I don't care that GTA 6 is going to release in February if like all of Rockstar's employees aren't being treated fairly, release that game in 2029, but fix your company, fix the people first. So I don't care about the product.
Yeah. Very easy for us to say, obviously, from our high perch, but obviously there's these companies are so massive, and they're reporting, shareholders and all different kinds of people. But because like for you and me, like we don't live and die based on GTA 6, right? If GTA 6 is delayed another year, okay, I'm going to play something else. I'm so sure that an indie studio is going to come out with something next year that I'm going to love playing. Like I'm going to play that. I'm not living and dying based on GTA 6. Will I play it when it comes out? Yeah, maybe, probably, at least a little bit, I'm sure. But I'm not planning my calendar around it. I'm not putting in the PTO request for November of 2026 where I can, put a week of time to play it. It's not that kind of game for me. And maybe you are that kind of person. Maybe you listening are super excited for that. And that's totally fair. But for me, it's like, yeah, if I could have the game tomorrow, but it's gonna break the backs of thousands of employees, or I can have the game 2 years from now and they can, have like a healthy life. I'm gonna take 2 years from now. Like, that's just my opinion.
Bro, we're
yeah,
just throwing zingers out here today. Just like really, really intense conversations. We really are like saying the things that people are too afraid to say.
That's right.
Come to Buenale Games.
We speak the truth. We speak
podcast. The truth. Right. No, like Ben said, we're just being armchair experts half the time too. Obviously, we don't really know the ins and outs of everything, but we just try to say and feel what's right. But dude, 2025 has been a really, really good and interesting year for gaming, man, for real. And I'm really happy that we have Video Game Book Club kind of trudging us along every single year, making us play these really incredible games and some really interesting and unique experiences as well. And I'm really happy and lucky that we have the community, the Buenale Games and Video Game Book Club community, listening to us every couple weeks, month in, month out. You guys make this really fun. And, Ben and I are just lucky that we get to just talk about games, play games, and, keep enjoying this industry.
Yep, definitely. If you're enjoying the show, definitely like and subscribe. It helps motivate us to continue doing it. The algorithm is a brutal place to exist. So if you like the show, if you like what we're doing, drop us the like and drop us a comment telling us you enjoy it. Honestly, those times where we get, random comments out of the blue saying, "Hey, I've been listening for a few months and just wanted to drop in and say you guys are doing a great job." It's like the most motivating thing in the world. So do all that, join the Discord if you want to get involved and chat. It's a really fun place just to talk and, about anything. So yeah, like and subscribe. That's what I'm trying to say. Like
I said, like and subscribe in 150 words or more, But I completely agree. The high I ride when we get those comments, it lasts for a while. It's really nice. For sure. So, Buenale Games, what do we have going on? We have Video Game Book Club. Of course, Hades 2 is coming out at the end of this month. I put out a video this week, or I guess for you it would be last week, of my random roguelike roulette. That was really fun to do, and I'm going to schedule my next stream for that probably in the next couple of weeks. So just keep be on the lookout for that. And we are going to do the 2025 Video Game Book Club Awards at some point in December or January. So again, like Ben said, put your nominations in the Discord or in the comments of this video. We are excited to award some of the Video Game Book Club games with some silly stuff. Thank you so much for listening and being here with us today. I hope you have a really good week. I hope that your favorite game of the year was nominated in the Game Awards. And if it was, good job. You did great. That would be all for us today. Thank you so much. Bye.